terrorism is a very complex threat, and it's not as simplistic as that in terms of your military might or your capacity to deal with large-scale violence. It's so complex that there's no nation on earth that has any successful story in terms of dealing with terrorism, either on home soil or in foreign lands. And so clearly, you need more than just a single nation effort. You need to develop a more coordinated, sophisticated approach dealing with it, and in the sense that you're dealing with it in terms of context-specific scenarios. And so you need more than just Nigerian forces dealing with it. And I know for sure that in years past, Nigeria has, looked for that kind of international partnerships in dealing with the threat in Nigeria, and that included America at some point. Of course, the types of relationship they may have been looking for may not have been available. But at the moment, it's another great time to have that kind of relationship, a kind of collaborative effort to deal with terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. You just saw statements from both sides of the Atlantic in terms of the high-profile security officials. The Secretary of State of the U.S., the Foreign Affairs Minister of Nigeria, both clearly stating that this was a product of mutual intelligence sharing and collaboration that led to those strikes in Nigeria. And so I think that is a new opportunity to build that kind of collaborative effort to deal with insurgency in Nigeria.
Right, two final questions, then you take leave of us. The next would be, one, should there be any thinking about how West Africa as a sub-region can have a force? You are saying that you need multiple assistance, especially from neighboring countries or otherwise. Can ECOWAS have a force on standby to assist when some of these issues come up? Is it possible?
Well, for so long, we've spoken about ECOWAS, putting together a strong and robust standby force to deal with regional security here. And this has been quite elusive for some time. Fortunately, we just saw in the situation of Benin, when the coup situation happened in ECOWAS, a very local time, mobilized forces within the region, and in fact, with the lead role by Nigeria, and ensured that, normalcy was restored, stability was restored, and the government was restored. That was a good example of what ECOWAS, can bring to bear on the ground when insecurity erupts. And I think that it's about time ECOWAS actually worked, more in terms of having a permanent standby force to deal with large-scale insurgency within the sub-region.
Right. And finally, we know that the one major challenge with fighting terrorists is that you cut off the head of one and two or three other heads grow up. How concerning should this be to Nigerians and the West African sub-region that the U.S. helped in this strike? We are told a number of a number of the jihadists or people who undertake the threat have died. We don't know the total number. But is it possible that we could have many more such groupings? Could it escalate beyond what we already know? Or this strike brings some level of finality to this?
Of course, a single strike does not end terrorism or terrorism anywhere. But it could be significant enough to deter others who may have been, looking to cause harm in those spaces. I think what we're dealing with at the moment is dealing with the symptoms of the problems within the region. We need to go beyond that. Killing terrorists is different. We need to be killing terrorism, the foundation and the factors that lead people to engage in terrorism. And that leads us to issues around governance, issues of, economic opportunities, governance issues, marginalization, inequality, corruption, and injustice, and the factors that come together to lead people to engage in terrorism. It doesn't matter how many terrorists you kill. If you do not address the underpinnings of radicalization, you would be stuck with the same situation as long as you do not address these underpinnings. And so we need to do more in terms of governance and delivering what I call the entitlements of citizenship.
Thank you so much for making time to speak with us this evening.
You're welcome.
You had Momoni Mukhtar. He's the Executive Director for the West Africa Center for Counter-Extremism.
Well, today is Boxing Day, so let's talk about Boxing Day. Boxing Day, historically known as a day for giving gifts, has taken on a broader meaning in Ghana. Today, it is marked as a nationwide holiday that blends family, faith, shopping, and leisure. Presently, some Ghanaians are observing the tradition quietly, with some keeping the spirit alive with large family gatherings, church services, and community entertainment.
Boxing Day in Ghana has evolved into a vibrant celebration that reflects both local customs and modern lifestyles. From faith-based observances to shopping sprays, sporting events, concerts, and cultural activities, the holiday has become a cornerstone of Ghana's festive calendar, uniting communities in joy and togetherness. A gift vendor, Rita Ampoma, noted that while prices remain relatively fair, patronage this year has been slow.
Christmas where there I say very slow because and a brand new many baba hampers no
The sale of the hampers have been very slow, but I'm not worried because the festivities are still ongoing. People will still patronize.
From 350.
The hamper ranges from 350 Ghana cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis, depending on the items the customers want.
Resident of Accra shared his excitement about receiving gifts from family and friends. Another chose to spend the day quietly in reflection.
Boxing Day basically is a time where we actually give gifts to our loved ones. I'm expecting some gifts from a few friends, from family too. From my side, Mom will be baking cakes, right, and we'll be distributing them to our family and friends too. So that's how I'll be observing it today.
I really like to celebrate the new year than the Christmas itself. If you talk about celebration, just having fun, being in the house, cook and eat, that is my celebration.
Boxing Day is about giving. It's an opportunity for us to also give to the less privileged and share the little we have with family and friends. Christmas, basically being indoors, a few parties here and there. We just came to get some gifts for some people as well to mark the Boxing Day.
And so, from family gatherings to shopping sprays and community celebrations, Boxing Day continues to bring Ghanaians together. As the celebrations wind down, the essence of Boxing Day remains clear, a time for sharing, reflection, and strengthening the bonds that unite families and communities across the country. That's the spirit of the season.
Oh, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
I think compared to you, still on the issues of the festive mood, MTN Ghana Foundation has donated 150 gift hampers to mothers of newborns at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital's maternity ward. Management says this gesture forms part of an established annual corporate social responsibility. It's an initiative which aims to bring smiles and essential supplies to new mothers and their babies.
Since 2011, MTN Ghana has consistently donated hampers to mothers and newborns during the festive season to show appreciation and support to their customers and all. Speaking during the donation, the Chief Corporate Service and Sustainability Officer for MTN Ghana, Ajwa Efriewiafe, explained the motivation behind the gesture.
We are here today to give to mothers who have given birth this Christmas season. So we are here to give baby hampers to the mothers as a show of our appreciation and as support to them. As we all know, there are times when people have babies or mothers have babies, but they do not have what is needed to take care of the babies, at least in the initial phases. So we are here and we think that this is an opportune time for us to come and give to those who need it.
The head of obstetrics and gynecology department at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Charles Techi, acknowledged the support of MTN Ghana over the years.
They've been doing this for several years, so this is not the first time they're doing it. And we appreciate every bit of whatever they do to the department. In the past, they helped us with our second floor, which was a major development at the labor ward. And every year, they've been a backbone for the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology.
Gift hampers filled with newborn essentials, including diapers, wipes, baby clothing, Toys were among the items presented to the mothers. All 700 gift hampers will be presented to mothers of newborns in 30 hospitals across the country.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3, the Boxing Day edition. We are back with more after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's do some more stories now. President Mohammed's administration began its legal journey with the discontinuation of several high-profile and sensitive court cases, a move that sparked criticism from some political actors. At the same time, government announced Operation Recover All Loot Oral, an initiative aimed at retrieving misappropriated public funds from former officials. Lord Idwasari highlights the major cases discontinued by the state in 2025.
Government spokesperson and Minister of State for Government Communications, Felix Kwachiofosu, explained that the discontinued cases were politically motivated and lacked merit. Among them was the withdrawal of charges against the former Deputy Governor, now Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, who had been accused over his role in the collapse of some banks. Former Kokobo Chief Executive Officer Dr. Stephen Opuni and businessman and discharged after the state withdrew charges relating to an alleged 271 million Ghana cedis financial loss in a fertilizer supply deal. The case had dragged on for several years. The prosecution of former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Dufour and 7 others over the collapse of Unibank was also discontinued after the state reportedly recovered more than 60% of the alleged lost funds. Former Minister for Works and Housing Alhaji Collins Dauda was discharged after the Attorney General entered a nolle prosequi in the Sagleme Housing Project case, which involved allegations of causing financial loss to the state. In the ambulance procurement case, the state withdrew its appeal against the acquittal and discharge of Dr. Kesio Atoforsin and businessman Richard Jakpa. Charges were also withdrawn against former Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT Director General Dr. Ernest Thompson and 3 others who had been accused of financial mismanagement. NDC National Chairman Samuel Fusu Ampofo was discharged in a case involving an alleged leaked audio discussing political violence. Other cases dropped included the prosecution of activists charged under the Akufo-Addo administration following protests against illegal mining, Galamsey. Those affected included prominent activist Oliver Bakavomawo and social media influencer Elom Ama Governor Abebio, popularly known as Governor. In addition, 6 years after the murder of investigator Lee, charged the lead suspect after the Attorney General advised police to discontinue the case, leaving the family without closure. Similarly, after a decade-long trial, Gregory Afoko, accused of murdering former NPP Upper East Regional Chairman Adams Mahama, was discharged by the Accra High Court. His co-accused, Asapke Alangdi, who had been convicted in May 2015, was also discharged. While the discontinuation of these cases had generated divided opinions, what remains a fact is that persecution has always been a political decision. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Let's do some sports now. And European football has witnessed plenty of unforgettable seasons, but 2025 felt different. Across the continent, long-held hierarchies collapsed as underdogs triumphed, curses were broken, and history was rewritten in real time. The following 3 sports report tells the story of the season that changed European football forever.
It was a plot twist no one saw coming. Giants fell, underdogs rose, long waits finally ended. From Paris to Newcastle, North London to South London, from Bologna to Stuttgart, football reminded us why we fell in love in the first place. This is the year European football changed forever. For 55 years, Paris Saint-Germain chased the one prize that always slipped away. Galacticos came and went, dreams rose and fell. Then in 2025, without their last superstar Kylian Mbappe, Paris Saint-Germain finally did it. A new look side, greats over glitz, system over superstardom, and what a final it was. A staggering 5-0 demolition of Inter Milan, the biggest winning margin in Champions League final history. PSG lifted their first ever Champions League trophy and completed a historic continental treble, becoming the first French club to ever do so. Paris didn't just win Europe, they conquered it. After decades in the wilderness, Newcastle United returned to center stage. Under Eddie Howe's steady hand and smart investment in Alexander Isak and Bruno Guimaraes, the Magpies defeated Liverpool to lift the Carabao Cup, the first major trophy since 1955. Champions League football followed on a dramatic final day, transforming St. James's Park into a fortress reborn.
I love working with them every day. Honoured to be their leader. And for the supporters, who came in their thousands today, who supported us back home. Since I've been at the football club, the support we've had home and away has been incredible. So I'm just so pleased they have this trophy to end the long wait, and hopefully we can get some more in the future.
And then South London witnessed the impossible. Crystal Palace, tipped by many for relegation, shocked Manchester City in the finals of the FA Cup. A club founded in 1905, lifting its first ever major trophy after 119 years' wait. Oliver Glasner's fearless football didn't just win silverware. It sent Palace into Europe for the very first time.
The biggest achievement we as football players, football managers, the biggest achievement that we can have, the biggest success is not then lifting the trophy. The biggest success what we can have, and this is how I feel it is, we could give 10,000 of our fans, of South Londoner, we could give them a moment for their life. We can give them great times. We can give them, maybe they have some troubles, some problems at home. We give them hours and days where they forget all of this. Just be feeling happy and celebrating. I think this is the biggest achievement that sportsmen can.
In North London, the jokes finally stopped. Tottenham Hotspurs, the club haunted by near misses, lifted the Europa League. It was a tense 1-0 victory over Manchester United, making their first European trophy since 1989. Under Ange Postecoglou, Spurs didn't just win a cup, they shattered a stereotype. The word Spursy lost its power. In Italy, Bologna stunned the establishment. A 1-0 Coppa Italia victory over AC Milan, their first major trophy since 1974. In Germany, VfB Stuttgart carved an unforgettable underdog run to lift the DFB Pokal, their first since 1997. In the Netherlands, go-ahead Eagles ended a 92-year wait, lifting the KNVB Cup and writing one of the most emotional stories of the year. And across it all, history followed England, with 6 Premier League clubs qualifying for the Champions League, a first ever to do so. 2025 also marked a turning point for UEFA. The Champions League introduced its first full league phase format, reshaping European nights forever. Chelsea completed something never done before, winning every major UEFA competition in history. When teams shine, stars are born. Ousmane Dembele, once labeled a flop in Spain, reached the peak of his powers. Ballon d'Or winner, FIFA Men's Player of the Year, from injuries and doubts to global recognition, a career reborn. And then Harry Kane, for over a decade, one sentence followed him everywhere: world-class striker, no trophies. In 2025, that line disappeared forever. Kane fired Bayern Munich to their 33rd Bundesliga title, scoring 39 goals across all competition and lifting the first major trophy of his career. After 16 years of almost, he was finally a champion. And just when you thought records were safe, Lamine Yamal arrived. Back-to-back Copa trophies, second place in Ballon d'Or, still a teenager, still breaking history. 2025 reminded us why football is more than a game, because sometimes the underdogs win, sometimes the curse is broken, and sometimes history finally says yes. This was the year dreams outpaced expectation. The year waited ended. The year European football rewrote its own history. And if this is the future, we can't wait for what comes next.
Certainly so. Just keep fingers crossed. This 2026 we are entering in, Manchester United will pick a trophy. And we'll definitely be talking about it. Stay with us. There's more to come on News 360.
Well, let's talk about something exciting that you don't want to miss. And 48 hours until we paint the Labadi Beach white with the biggest party as we climax next December. The 3FM All-White Party promises to be a perfect night filled with a star-studded lineup, electrifying music, performances from the hottest DJs in Accra.
The 3FM All-White Party, which began 7 years ago, has evolved over the years from a simple overnight trip to Akosombo to a spectacular year and extravaganza aimed at bringing together listeners and viewers for a remarkable celebration after a hectic 2025. The much anticipated All-White Party Beach Edition is set to kick off on the 28th of December and promises delivered high-energy performances from some of the country's top entertainers.
It's our 7th edition and we're really excited about this particular one because it's the beach edition first and foremost, where we're collaborating with Labadi Beach Hotel, which are the top notch in terms of hospitality. Every single, well, they've won multiple awards to show for it, so we're really excited to collaborate with them this year for the beach edition of it. So it's happening at Labadi Beach Hotel, the private beach area of Labadi Beach Hotel, and we have 3 of the finest artists that have thrilled us in the year 2025. The party is always multi-layered because we have our live band element where we have some of the finest live bands.
December 28th, this Sunday. You don't want to miss out on the 3FM All-White Party. We're back with more after this break. Stay with us.
It's been a pleasure coming your way on the Boxing Day edition of News 360. Thank you so much for watching. I am Martin Esiedu Dati.
And I am Grace Hamwajiman. We're back same time. Thank you for watching.